Welcome in then to the latest edition of Extra Time. Craig Burley with us
The
here.
good news is that Sid's not here.
No, Sid is here.
He's not, he hasn't got a clue.
Look, Nedum is with us and Sid Lowe as well. Sid, I'm intrigued as to how long they're going to keep the lights on for you.
I honestly don't know that because I think... Oh no, we're not the last people in here. There are some people in here, but we're the last of the media here, I think.
Right, who are those people?
I don't know. I think they're friends of players. Oh, in fact Marino's there, so it's presumably
Sid,
his family.
I've got a question.
There you go.
I've got a question for you, Sid. Why the hell did you interview a goalie?
Don't give it an answer.
Well, I'll tell you what, actually, Craig, the thing is, we interviewed two of them because we spoke to Alex Romero as well, the Real Sociedad goalkeeper, who was very, very interesting, by the way, and really, he was probably a little bit more analytical than Jasper Cillessen was.
No, well, he tried to be. He's a goalie.
Right, OK, let's get on with this. Here we go.
How many goalies are managers?
A lot of people have tweeted this, Craig. How does it feel to have been right all along about Ole?
No, it's not about being right. People have got this... No, listen. Honestly, listen, people have got it all wrong. It's not about who's right and who's wrong, because there's lots of times we say things about results and players that are, go the other way. It's just about... One, it's about trying to do your job, and two, it's about making a call. I don't think it was a particularly difficult call to make.
You're so humble, Craig.
No, I don't think it was a difficult call to make back in the time when everybody else was looking for managers with great experience and knowledge. United went out, and I'll never get my head around those at the time that said United had to give him the job. These institutions don't have to do anything that doesn't suit their narrative. Maybe that's what happened. It suited their narrative, but no, it's not about. I'm intrigued now to see how. I want to see United do well. I want to see them up there fighting, but they were never going to do that on a regular basis with him in charge. He knew that himself. He's got a lovely little learner out of this second stint at Man United that he should never have had, really.
Nedum, what do you make of humble Craig?
It's not.
Do you know what? I can see his mouth moving, but like it still doesn't feel very humble. But to be fair to him, he's been very consistent. Craig has been very, very consistent from minute one. So credit to him. This one, whether it's about being right or wrong, he's been consistent.
But people think we do it for all the wrong reasons. It's like it's not to be vindicated. I never ever felt. I was convinced, actually, totally convinced, that whilst there'd be a few results along the way, and I've said that on the show enough to sort of keep the wolves from the door until now, that I was utterly convinced from the start, after his interim period, which was decent, that longer term this would all come out in the wash. I was just convinced because of where he'd been managing. Where he'd been managing is not a parachute to manage a club of this magnitude. It was quite simple to see, really.
Sid, how much of coverage has this story got in Spain?
Oh, loads. Absolutely loads. I mean, first of all, because in Spain there's a lot of interest in Manchester United and English football in general. Secondly, of course, because Cristiano Ronaldo is there, so that makes it bigger still. And thirdly, I actually think there has been a degree of analysis about Solskjaer himself and a sense that Solskjaer really couldn't survive very much longer. This was a big deal on the sports radio shows yesterday afternoon. It's been a big deal on Spanish television and in the media as well. And of course, we'll add one other element to this, which is the sensation, the feeling rather here, that Zidane might be a candidate, that Luis Enrique, of course, we saw this story today of Luis Enrique supposedly being the candidate that Cristiano Ronaldo wanted, which is bizarre because Cristiano Ronaldo is exactly the kind of player that Luis Enrique would get rid of. And that's not an attack on Cristiano Ronaldo. It's just about the way that Luis Enrique wants to structure his side, the way that he would set it up. He's not the kind of player that's likely to play a central role with Luis Enrique. And I don't know if you saw the footage from a paddle competition this afternoon. Luis Enrique laughed and said, "What is it, de los inocentes?" Which, as you know, Dan, is the Spanish equivalent of April Fool's Day. So I don't think he's taking it too seriously.
You don't know, do you?
Of course I knew that.
You didn't know that?
Yeah, I know exactly that date.
You didn't know that. The only thing you could do in Spanish was order
The question is, Dan, do you know which day it is?
Yes, I do, Sid, yes. Craig, how much blame does Harry Maguire deserve?
I don't think it's the blame game for individual players. To be honest, Harry Maguire has had his his highs and his lows. I've kind of noticed with him recently complaining a lot, even in this Watford game, before he was sent off, whenever, even there was one challenge went into him in the first half, or was it early in the second half, where the referee played a clear advantage. It wasn't a particularly malicious challenge, and yet here he was on the floor still complaining. Right. And United had been given a clear advantage, and were on the attacking front foot. And I just thought, it was the epitome of where some of these are at the moment. But no, I don't think. I mean, Fernandes, Pogba, the list goes on. At the end of the day, you can look at all the big players. I know he's had some stick. He'll take the same blame, I think, as everybody else. I wouldn't single one player out above everybody else, to be honest with you.
Nedum?
Yeah, I would agree with Craig. I think it's just been collectively not good enough. And you saw Harry Maguire was tweeting afterwards saying, saying thanks to the boss, love you so much, you brought me to the club, one of the best clubs in the world, blah, blah, blah. So I don't think he's solely the reason for that. I think he's got an affinity for him, but it's just bang out of form. And worse still, like, looking at the highlights from yesterday, like we talk about highs and lows, when a highlight starts with the ball at your feet and you're about to get sent off, it's the type of thing you just can't look back on, really. So, yeah, I don't think he's to blame, but he's clearly not playing well at this moment.
Craig, can any manager lead Manchester United Champions League glory this season the way Tuchel did? Tuchel joined much later. United probably have better superstars, than Chelsea did when he inherited the squad.
Chelsea had a good squad. They had a group of players that were not dissatisfied with Lampard, but short term they were out of shape.
Right.
They'd got a few bad results and were searching a little bit. They were not. None of them. They hadn't down tools, or there wasn't any negative headlines coming out or anything like that. But they had a group of players that were not easy, but they were easier to mould into something that he wanted because they were prepared to do it.
So is that a no?
Oh, it's a definite no, for sure.
Right.
I think the squad at Chelsea were much more workable short term than this Man United squad. Man United squad's it's like a jigsaw with some really big pieces in there, but then the other pieces are not quite making it fit at the moment. And when you put all that together, it's going to be a big task for somebody. I mean, they're a talented squad, but enough of a talent in the right positions. I mean, I look at the middle of the park.
Yeah.
No, you look at what he had to come in and work with in the middle of the park. He had things to work with.
Sure.
He had defenders that wanted to defend. He could mould them into a back three. He could change the wing backs and full backs. He even played some wingers there in those positions in the early days, Thomas Tuchel. I don't think whoever manages Man United in the next 2 or 3 months will have that luxury.
Nedum, who's getting fourth in the Premier League?
I'm going to say Arsenal. That's what I think. I'm going to say Arsenal. I think they're going to go on a run. Obviously, they got battered yesterday, but I think things are looking up for them. And with United falling off the way that they are, I think it'll be competitive and maybe they'll find something.
What do you say?
I don't know. Some mishmash now of...
Yeah, it's like 3 in the rest, isn't it?
Some mishmash of mediocrity, if we're being...
You probably think West Ham, Arsenal, Spurs, United?
If I was West Ham, I would... I know they didn't get a good result at the weekend, but if I was West Ham, I wouldn't be throwing the towel in. No. I'm sure they won't be, but I won't be throwing the towel in. That's another thing to... whether you think David Moyes was the man or not, that's the other thing. David Moyes got 7 months. David Moyes got 7 months off the back of a pretty sterling managerial career for over a decade at Everton. OK, it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but he did some great work there. He got 7 months. A man with not a patch of a CV, apart from the fact he played there, got almost 3 years. That tells you. I mean, it's quite scary, really. So there should be no sympathy here.
So Sid, can Vinicius Junior become one of the best of the next generation alongside Mbappe and Haaland?
Yeah, definitely. He's still very young. The way that he's improved this year, I think, is really striking. I think it tells you something about the confidence that Carlo Ancelotti has given him. It also tells you something, I think, about his approach to the game and how he's tried to change things like his diet and so on. But more than anything else, I think his mental kind of approach to the game, because this is a guy that last year was missing chances, that wasn't scoring goals. And it's been going on basically since he arrived at Real Madrid. You know, this is a guy that was largely someone people laughed at because he would run out of pitch, or because he would scuff his shot, or because you pretty much knew he wasn't going to score unless it was going to be a deflection. And now it's not just that he's scoring goals, but he's scoring goals where he is as cool as anything in front of goal. And I think the raw materials were already there. I think he's adding those parts of his game. Absolutely, I think this is someone that in the next 5 or 6 years we'll be talking about as one of the best players in Europe.
How far is it from where you are, Sid, to where you're going tonight, be it home or the hotel?
Oh, where's this going?
Well, too far because it's absolutely pouring down with rain. About 15-minute walk, I think.
Oh, security.
Oh, so you're not keeping... Oh, so you're... Oh, can you...
Security just left, Sid. You can go and play on the pitch now.
So we're... Yeah.
Go and
Tell you what, honestly...
So we're keeping you from the bar
I don't know if
tonight?
this is a time where I should admit that I ran on the track at the end of the Athens Olympics, very much like this at the end of the Olympics.
Yes.
And I went as a fan, not as a worker. We were in the stadium just kind of watching it at the end, and everyone had left, and it was the last night. And a mate of mine says to me, "Do we?" Of course we do.
Yes. Very cool.
So,
I like that.
Sprinting down the 100. I mean, I think it took me about 25 seconds, but I did run the 100 metres.
To be fair, I think you'll make that 15-minute walk in less than that to the bar, won't you, at the hotel? No, I would.
I tell you what, that's all you need, isn't it? At the finish line, a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, or a shepherd's
half the
pie,
time.
depending on who you are.
Trust me, it would be like a man coming up from the grave, if that was the case. I tell you what, all these Olympic sprinters, who was the 100 metres guy?
Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt. I forgot. And I've no
100
idea.
metres guy. Usain Bolt's official title, the 100 metres guy.
He would have not a chance. I tell you what, they'd have to give him a 50-metre start. They put a bar at the end of the 100 metres, and Nickel was in the race. Could you imagine? Those blocks, I don't even think he would touch the track from the blocks. It'd be straight
like a
out.
cartoon
It'd be like
character.
Superman, straight down.
Okay. Last question for you, Sid. Do you think Marco Asensio deserves a contract extension at Real Madrid? He was brilliant today.
Granada.
Yes, it was Granada.
It depends how much money he wants to earn. I think you don't give him a superstar new deal, but I think you do re-sign him, yes.
Nedum, how many goals will Messi score against your City this Wednesday, as his goal-scoring record is astonishing against Pep's team?
Do you know what? I'm going to that game, so...
Oh.
And Messi's probably my favourite player of all time, so I don't care if he scores. If it's a good game, I'll enjoy it. So, yeah, the more the merrier. Just go for it. Go for it, Leo. Go for it.
Where's the loyalty? Where's your contract at Manchester City TV gone, Nedum?
I've not signed it yet.
Fancy City this week.
You're not about to either.
You're not about to. Listen to chirpy chappy from Spain over there. Get to the bar, Sid. Get to the bar.
I think we can all go to the bar. I think that's it. We're done.
Are we?
Yep. ESPN FC is back on your screens tomorrow. Be sure to join us.
Why would it not be?
Well, just a reminder. People might think, oh, maybe it won't be. Well, now they know.
Once a week on a Sunday. It's been so much fun. Let's do it again.
Oh, yes, good. Oh, dear. Once a year is enough. Thank you. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.